Hi guys, I'm Lisa and I'm back with another video. Today it's time for another TBR. It is my April TBR. You can probably tell from my video that I am planning on doing VEDA this month, which is a short acronym for a video every day in April, and so it's a really big challenge having to upload something every day. So it means I'm going to be pre-filming a whole lot. So I'm hoping to get a good start of that this weekend. Today's video is going to be my TBR video for April. I have decided for the next 2 months that I'm going to put my Stephen King project on a hiatus, sort of break thing, and I won't be back with those books at least until June, maybe July, because of the Booktubesff SFF Awards stuff, and I'd like to get caught up on that. And I feel like they, even though they're audios, they might take up a lot of time of my actual reading time, and I still haven't finished Night Shift, which was my March book. But as you also can see on my title of this video, I'm also planning on joining in on the Taking Your Owls exams, which I'll get into later in the video once I've gone through my TBR. The first things I want to talk about is the books that I'm currently working on. First up, I have 2 that I work on that I'm not sure I'll get. Actually 3 of them I'm working on. I'm not sure I'm going to be getting to them in April. I might be postponing them, but they are as follows. Europe in Autumn by Dave Hutchinson. I have about 110 pages, maybe 130 pages. I'm not sure exactly the number left of this book, so I should be able to finish it, but I haven't picked it up the majority of March, so I don't know if it's something I'll pick up. I do want to prioritize the Booktubesff SFF reading, so I don't know if I'll get to it. Another book that I have been working on is The Last Wish by Andrzej Sapkowski. I don't know how to say his name. But this is the first book in the Witcher series, and I'm currently just over 100 pages into it. It is quite short, so it could be that I go back to this and finish it over a weekend or something when I feel like I have some time, but I don't know for sure. It's not one that I have to read. And then my Stephen King book that I might be dipping into this and read a couple of stories, but it's not my priority this month. I'm on page 149 of 400 pages. I'm enjoying the majority of the stories that I'm reading here, but as I said, I'm putting my Stephen King reading on a bit of a break. A book that I'm not sure if I will have finished by the time that April starts, but I don't think I will, because this is the 31st and I still have 2/3 of the book left. But that is the Song of Achilles, or Achilles' Sang, which is the Danish translation, as I've said a couple of times before. I'm currently about 1/3 of the way through it, and I'm enjoying it a whole lot, and we'll see if I finish this over the weekend. I might not finish it before April starts, so that's why I put this on my April TBR as well. Finally, I have Vision in Silver by Anne Bishop that I'm still working on. This is one I'm planning on picking up, but I'll let you know about it later in another video why I'm reading this. And finally, I'm also listening to Zenlin Ascents by Josiah Bancroft. I really like to finish that, so it might be something I'll be listening a lot to over the next week when I start on work again. So that is my first priority to finish. It's not a Booktubesff SFF Awards or anything, it's just I started it back in January. I started it and I only listened to like the first hour or something, but I'd like to get back to this and actually listen to its entirety. It's a little confusing so far, but I'm liking the narration style, and hopefully I'll really end up enjoying the book. The next point on my TBR schedule is to read the books that I have to read for the Booktubesff SFF Awards. First up, I have 4 things that are still left over from March that I didn't get to. First up, I still have to read The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. This I have just received on my on my Overdrive account, so I can get started on it this weekend. So I don't know if I'll be finishing it before, but it's one I'm going to be starting today. But we'll see how that goes. Another one that I haven't read or picked up is The Dreadful Tale of a Prosper Wedding by Alexander Bracken. I'm still not sure if I'm gonna get this one. I have to buy it and I haven't bought it yet. But if there's some people who's read it, or if you're currently reading it, please let me know in the comments down below if it's something you really enjoy and you think that I would enjoy. Then definitely let me know, because I am curious about it, and it might be that I'll get to it. Maybe I'll postpone it until May, because I can see I don't have a lot of books for that month yet. But definitely let me know if it's something I should prioritize in my reading. The 2 graphic novels that were part of this month's reading, I didn't get to any of them, but the first one is Everyone's an Alien When You're an Alien Too by Yomni Son. This is one of the Booktubesff SFF Awards nominees, but it has very strange both text and pictures. So I think it will be quite fast. I lost the bookmark. This might be part of a readathon or something, because it will be pretty quick, I think. The other book that I also have is My Favorite Thing is Monsters by Emil Ferris. This is a chunky, heavy graphic novel, and I couldn't get it from the library, so I had to buy it. But I'm really happy I did, because the artwork is stunning. It's like pencil colors, like that she painted all of it, or drew all of these illustrations in a journal, so you can see the journal lines and stuff. That's pretty exciting, and I've heard really great things about the story as well, so it's definitely a book that I'd like to try and get through this month. Now getting on to the April read-alongs in the Booktubesff SFF Awards category. The first one is The Ship of the Dead by Rick Riordan that I have to get to. This is the 3rd and final book in the Magnus Chase series, so I want to read this so I can finish up the series, and hopefully I'll enjoy it for the most part. It's definitely usually pretty quick reads, so that is a good thing, and I will be listening to the audio, so it won't take up more reading time from my actual reading. The next one that's also in this month's nominees is The Waking Guards by Sylvain Noël, and as I haven't read the first one, I also have to read Sleeping Giants, also by Sylvain Noël, obviously, and I will be reading that from the Overdrive, I think. I'll have to check if I can reserve it at the library, or if I can get it already immediately, but we'll see about that. I don't know if it's available immediately, we'll see. The next one is Red Sister by Mark Lawrence. I've only read one book by Mark Lawrence before, but I really enjoyed it. It's usually very dark fantasy that he's writing in, so it's not for everyone. But I'm excited to see what this book is going to be about, if it's going to be as interesting as I found the Prince of Thorns book. The debut book of the month that we're going to be reading is Kings of the Wild by Nicholas Eames. This is a fantasy book, and I'm pretty excited about it, though I've heard it's only so things about it from some people, and other people's really raves about it and loves it. So we'll see where I fall on that category. I think it's a pretty humorous book, so maybe it depends if the humor is something that clicks with me, but I'm super excited to get into this nonetheless. I want to remove that half price sticker, but I bought it used, so yeah. The last and final thing that's on the April TBR is Monstrous Volume 2 by Marjorie Liu and Sana Takeda, who is the illustrator of the book, the series, graphic novel series, and this is April's graphic novel book. Actually, I could also wait and read this in May, because I'm not going to read Paper Girls and it's just graphic novel, but I love the art style. It's very beautiful, and it's pretty short, so we'll see. So those were the TBRs for my Booktubesff SFF. I haven't added very much else, but I would like to get to Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson, so this is a chunky book on top of that, but we'll see if I can dip in and out of this a little bit over the month and start working on it, because I would like to work on my TBR unwrappings a bit, so I can actually do a TBR unwrapping soon. That's what I want to do. So now let's get into my owl exam part of this. So the magical readathon owls taking your owls exam thing was created by the Book Roast, whose channel I'll link down below. This is a challenge that takes place all over April, and I debated back and forth whether I wanted to join in on this, because I'm having so many plans in April, but I also know that I'll probably regret not taking part in it if I didn't do it. So I decided to try and fit as many of my actual current TBR books onto this challenge, so that, and luckily I read a lot of fantasy, so maybe a lot of them will work for this. And basically you get grades if you're passing your IELTS exams or not, by how many books you read and stuff. So there are 3 fail grades. Troll, that's if you don't read anything. Then there's Dreadful, which is where you've started a couple of books but you haven't maybe haven't finished anything. Then that is the grade that you get. Poor, which is when you've only finished 1 book for the challenge. And from now on it's passing grades, so if you read 2, it's acceptable. If you read 3, you exceeded expectations. And if you read at least 5 owls, you get an outstanding grade. There's tasks for all of the different classes at Hogwarts. So there's Ancient Runes, which will be a book with a symbol on the cover. It could be anything. I haven't really picked anything specific. And then there's Arithmancy, which with a number on the cover or in the title. I'll have to look into that. Astronomy, a sci-fi novel, I could read Sleeping Giant, for instance. Care of Magical Creatures, I could read, maybe my favorite thing is Monsters, because I think it might have a lot of magical creatures in it. Otherwise, Monsters Volume 2 definitely have a lot of magical creatures in it, so this could be one as well. Charms would read a fantasy book. I have quite a few of my fantasy books on my to read. But then there's also the Defense Against the Dark Arts, which is a secret society club thing, which I don't know anything, not a lot about the books that I'm reading, so maybe some of them could work for it, but we'll see. That's basically what's going to be about all of these. I will be trying to fit the books in as they go and see how it works, and then maybe I'll be scrambling to get caught up when we get to the later part of the month. But as of right now, these are the challenges and what I need to find in the books. For divination, read a book that features prophecies. For herbology, you have to read a book with nature, a nature-related word in the title. And history of magic, need to read a historical fiction. And I think, if not anything, I could start and read The Dark Days Pact, which is an historical set book, but I could also read quite some other things from my Kindle or something. I don't know that yet. Muggle studies, read a non-fiction book about muggles, so humans. And I don't know, I don't read a lot of non-fiction, so we'll see if that is one I'm gonna dip into. Potions, read a book with alchemy in it, and I don't know the magic systems in any of the fantasy books that I'm reading, so maybe one of them will work for that. Transfiguration, read a book with transfiguration or shape-shifting. Not anything, I don't know if I can use a book that I've already started, because then Vision in Silver could work for this, but otherwise I'll see whatever else there could be. Yeah, so those are all of the challenges, and we'll see when I get to the end of the month if I've failed or if I've passed my exams. So yeah, it's a bit of a mess of a TBR, and I'm sorry, I apologize. So all of these books I have to read, so we'll see. It could be that I'll go back and read some of the... No, that's the thing, I don't know if I could read anything that I've already started. I'll probably be cheating a little bit. So this is my stack. I think my TBR stacks are getting progressively longer when you think about how many books I also have as audiobooks and ebooks and stuff, but I'm excited about the majority of these books, so hopefully I'll enjoy them. And this month I've actually been doing quite well on my TBR, even though I had a pretty hefty one last month. So yeah, which we'll see in my March wrap up tomorrow. Anyway, these are all of my plans for April. Let me know in the comments down below if you're going to what you're going to be reading in April. Are you participating in the OWLS exams as well? And are you going to be reading some Booktubesff SFF reading this month? Let me know and how you're doing with that. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye!